Hi, for this video what I'm going to do is show you how to use ClassCalc to help you find the mean, the median, and the mode of these two data sets. So for each of them we are going to go through and find the mean, the median, and the mode. So remember, the mean is the sum of all of the values divided by the number of terms that you have. The median, you would, if you were doing it by hand, have to put it in order and then find the very middle number. And the mode is the one that occurs the most frequently. Okay, so with this, what we're going to do is we're going to take this data set. The first data set, I actually already typed the data into Excel. So you can see that the 40, 42, 37, 39, 40, 47, and 50 are in here. The reason I did this is because you can upload data from an Excel file, or if you're working in a homework platform that allows you to download the data into Excel, you can put it in here and then you can save it as a CSV file. In order to upload in the data into ClassCalc, it does have to be listed as a CSV file. So to do this, there's a couple different ways that you can do this, but I'm just going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Export, and I'm going to change the file type. I've already done this, so you would select the CSV. I already saved it as a CSV file, but you would do the CSV file and then save it wherever you know where to find it. So I already did this, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into ClassCalc. And here on ClassCalc, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the plus button and I'm going to do a table import. And like I said, I had already saved this. I just saved it as data. And so it put the values in here, the 40, the 42. So if you notice, we have the values 40, 42, 37, 39, 40, 47, and 50. Okay, so that is one way of putting the data in there. I'm going to show you another method on the second one, and there's a couple different ways that you can do this. I tend to use the tables because it's easier. And so again, you have a couple different options here. Option one, I can click down here and go to Stat, and you can see that I can select the mean, the median, or the mode. Okay, so for the mean, I can select that, and then I can just type in the value. If you notice, this table is X1. So I can just type in X1. It automatically puts it as a subscript. I just hit the number 1 on my keyboard. And it gives me the sum of the numbers. So you would just round to whatever decimal place it tells you to. So I could write that down. I'll just go back and write them down in a second. I can click for the next one, and again, I can either hit the stat and find median, or I can type in the command median. And so if it's easier for you, you can type it in. It will automatically order the data and find the middle point of the data. Okay, and then for the mode for this one does have a mode of 40. Remember, the mode is the one that occurs the most often. If none of your data values actually repeat, they will list all of the data values as the mode. Typically, if we do have the mode as all of the points, we would just say that there is no mode, since none of them occur more often than the other. So for this, we could just write down the values. I have it on a piece of paper. So the mean is going to be 42, approximately 42.143. The median was 40 and the mode was 40. Okay, since the mean is to the right of the median, it's higher. These data values would be skewed to the right. This 50 right here has an influence on the mean because it's larger than all of the other values, so it did pull it higher than the median. The median and the mode happen to be the same thing. The mode doesn't always have to be in the center. The median is always in the center, and it is resistant to outliers. Okay, for the second data set, I do not have it in Excel, so I want to show you guys a couple of options. So one of the options, if I go back into the calculator, one of the options, I could just type in the mean, and I personally don't do this unless you have to find just one thing, and I can type in 75, 85, or 80, 85, So you notice that this does take a lot longer than actually putting the data into a chart. So you can do it this way, but then if you want to find the median, you have to retype all of the data. So personally, I would either use a list or a table to do this. I could come back into this table up here and just use y1 as my variable. If you use a list, you would have to put it in with the commas separating each of the values. So I'm just going to use a table for this one. Notice this time that it does put it as x2. So when I type in the commands, I would have to do that, but I can just type in my data, the 90, the 72, and the 74. And then when I come down here, I'm going to just delete some of these to get rid of some stuff. I can type in, again, the mean, and this time I would do x2, and it gave me the same value. Okay, the median of x2 and the mode of x2. If you notice on this one, it does list out all of the data values. That means that there is no mode since all of the values are the same. Again, this one does happen to be skewed to the right since the mean is higher than the median. But all of them can be found very easily using ClassCalc. It does save you on time. You can always put these values in separated by commas in list form, or you can type them into a table. You can also have it in Excel and upload the information. As far as uploading from Excel, it's very nice if you have an online homework platform and you don't want to have to worry about typing in the data wrong, because if you do type in one of the values wrong, it will adjust your answer. Something that is nice is that if you noticed by using the x2, if I notice that I mistyped a value, or maybe the problem adds another value to it, so like let's say that 75 was added to this list, notice it does adjust all of them accordingly, and now the mode is 75 since the 75 was repeated. If I delete a value, it does automatically change them, so that's another nice feature of using the graphing calculator. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there are additional topics that you would like me to cover, please let me know that as well.